We got underway with the leading car, the number 81 BMW, at the front of the field from pole position. It was a perfect start for Jose de Milagros, who led the early stages of the race. Further back in the field, working their way through the field very quickly, the Toyota Supra of Francisco Mora, the Toyota GR Supra GT4 Evo 2, making huge positions from 28th to 13th over the course of the first lap of the race after issues in qualifying on Saturday. At the front of the field there was plenty going on, and in the midfield too, with the SMC McLaren having a moment there going into the first corner. While that was happening, Mora was carving his way through the field, breaking into the overall top 10 here in just the third lap of the race. But unfortunately, a safety car would soon be deployed. Several incidents around the circuit, including Pinheiro in the Porsche hitting the tyre wall. That would cause a red flag that would shorten the race down to 40 minutes. With about 36 of those minutes left to go, the race went back to green with just a few minutes until the pit window opened. It was a strategical head-scratcher for many drivers and many teams alike. At the front of the field, Jose de Milagros had a fairly easy task. Try and run away with it, but with a 10-second handicap for the BMW team, it was well known that it was going to be a challenge for them going through the pit stop handicaps. 2 minutes the base time. They had 2 minutes 10 to serve in pit lane. Dramas further back as well. It was a radiator leak for the Porsche. Getting a second look at that, you can see the fluid spraying out of the car. Elsewhere, the battles were continuing on. Of course, the GTC, the TC cars proving to be obstacles for some of the quicker cars at times, but having their own battle as well. This was Max Huber losing out to Francisco Abreu there. That was for fourth in the pro class. As the pit window continued on, there were dramas for several drivers, including the driver that came back out in the lead. Briefly leading was Jose Carlos Perez, but he seemed to be struggling for corner speed just about everywhere, and he would ultimately DNF, unfortunately, and lose the lead before doing so. We saw there some dramas elsewhere as well, unfortunately. Gracie Mitchell having an off-track moment there. We also saw some lap traffic shenanigans, and this was Francisco Abreu getting to the inside of Guillermo Eso. That was for third overall, and Eso would continue to try and fight back for the remainder of the race. Lots of contacts and drama all around the order that we didn't necessarily see in the live pictures, but we certainly weren't missing action in this race. That was Max Huber's moment, unfortunately. That would be one of the final incidents, along with two cars in the gravel, that would ultimately trigger the red flag just as Nerea Marti was clawing in the car in the lead, and that car in the lead would of course be the winner, Roberto Fario. Matthew Martins in the Aston Martin, winning the day here in Iberian Supercars. What a result for them.